When I started making YouTube videos, I was saying everyone is welcome. Anyone can take my lessons, right? I didn't get any clients. No one took my lessons. So from there, I became more specific about who I want to help. When I want to make videos specifically talking about pronunciation and breathing, I really do not get a lot of views. And then when I make something more general, I get more views. That's a struggle right there. The last year around this time, I only had like 4,000, but one video outperformed and I got so many subscribers from just one video, and it went over 10K this year.
Hello and welcome to the Art of Selling Online Courses. We are here to share winning strategies and secret hacks from top performers in the online course industry. My name's John Ainsworth and today's guest is Aiko Hemingway. Now, Aiko is an American English pronunciation coach. She's also a TEDx speaker and an entrepreneur. She was born and raised in Japan and moved to the US when she was 23, and she didn't speak English at all. So learning English pronunciation was very challenging, and now she coaches other Japanese who currently have that challenge. And we are going to be talking through how she got this business started, how it worked, how she managed to become a TEDx speaker, and much more. Aiko, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
So talk us through just like a little bit more detail, like who are you helping with your courses?
As of now, I am mainly coaching like company executives and professional singers who need to, like for singers especially, Japanese singers who want to sing in English. I'm teaching them how to create, like produce sounds that the Japanese language doesn't have. And also for company executives, because they are the face of their companies, they really want to be able to produce the English sounds without being misunderstood. So especially for LNR, these are really difficult for Japanese people, or TH and different vowels, so that they don't accidentally say words that are not, you don't want to say those words in public and stuff. So that's who I teach, or that's who I.
So how do you target them? That's very specific. That's two very specific niches within the language learning. So how do you get in front of them? Is that people coming in from referrals, or have you got specific marketing channels you're running that manage to target them?
Well, so first, so when I started making YouTube videos, I was saying everyone is welcome. And then I didn't get any clients.
Okay.
It was very, very interesting because, anyone can take my lessons, right? And no one took my lessons. So from there, I became more specific about who I want to help. So first, I targeted Japanese people in the US only, because they need to be able to speak English really well in order to communicate in the US. So I started making contents only for Japanese people in the US, and I started getting clients, and I was surprised that I started getting Japanese clients in Japan.
So how are you now? How come you're now getting these, particularly though the singers and executive coaches? Because that's way more targeted than Japanese people in the US.
Right. Actually, my first client was a singer.
Okay.
So maybe that's, singing, people get really specific about pronunciation. And I kind of remember I used to sing in English, and when I didn't really speak English at that time, people didn't correct my English when I was just speaking to them. But when I sang songs in English, few people came to me like after each performance, "Hey, Aiko, it's not ear, it's year. It's not hurt, it's heart." People were very, very specific about pronunciation. So maybe that's why singers want to really learn pronunciation.
Interesting. I got a Greek friend, and a couple of years ago, she came to us and she said, if I ever make any mistakes with my pronunciation, I want you to tell me. And it's a really funny one because you don't want to be rude, right? You don't want to point out someone's pronunciation isn't correct if they don't want to hear about it. You don't want to have someone be irritated at you or what have you. But she was like, no, just tell me every time. And so we started like pointing things out, and we found out some really interesting stuff because in Greek, they they don't say sh. They just don't have that sound. And what's worse is they think that if you say sh when you're talking English, then you sound pretentious. So there's two problems. One, she didn't have that, she wasn't used to making that sound. But secondly, she then felt like emotionally uncomfortable making that sound as well. So that was his whole battle to try and get her to like say it the right way. So it's fascinating kind of hearing the Japanese singers being like a really specific one. So how are you helping these guys? Is it do it yourself courses? Are you doing one-to-one lessons with them? Like what's your approach? How are you working?
Oh, right now, because I have an online course where I teach pretty much everything about English pronunciation, and I want to be able to help as many people as possible. So I'm
Hmm.
trying to focus on selling my online course without
Hmm.
using my time. And for people who request my lessons, for example, I just came back from an in-person class from Tokyo 2 days ago, and I gave lessons to a professional singer in Tokyo.
Okay.
So those people who want to learn in person, and then I do that for them, but one person or two people at a time. So I spend um, some time with my private clients, but
Hmm.
most of the time I want to focus on teaching or helping as many people as possible without using my time.
Got it. And how are you doing that? How are you building an audience at the moment? I think you're selling some courses through Udemy. Is that right?
Udemy, not anymore. I kind of
No?
started,
Okay.
Udemy was like mini courses that I wanted to test to see if I could sell those. So I closed them on Udemy, and now I focus on selling my online course in Kajabi. So I make content, YouTube content, and I offer a free workshop video where I talk more about pronunciation, especially how to use your breath and vibrations and
Mhm.
energy in your voice. And they come into my funnel. And at the end of my free workshop video, which is already pre-recorded,
Yeah.
and I offer my paid course at the end. And then I use Deadline Funnel connected with Kajabi, and I'm offering my online course at like 50% off for 12 days and sending about like 14 emails to talk about the course. And then some people decide to buy my course.
Nice. And how's that going so far? What kind of revenue are you up to, if you're happy to share, or like how many students have you had, or whatever you're happy to kind of share in terms of numbers?
Yeah, so I have almost like 200 people, 200 students in
Hmm.
my online course. Some people already took my group coaching or private coaching, but I'm getting like about like 5 to 6 students a month, sometimes 14, which was, unusual, but um how many people come into my funnel? Maybe I get like 100 to 130 new leads a month, and then like I get like 5 or 6 new students.
Okay, cool. And how much are you charging people for the course?
With the 50% off, 1,500. So
$1,600. Okay, cool.
1,600. So the regular price is 3,200.
Okay. So you might make about like 10,000-ish a month, something like that. Is that about
Yeah,
right?
from my online course
From the
sale.
course.
Yes.
Okay. And then on top of that, you've also got some one-to-one uh, work that you're doing with people as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. That's great. And what size is your YouTube audience? Like how many views do you get a month on YouTube?
Well, as of now, the subscriber count is 11K,
Hmm.
11,000. And I checked how many views I get a month. I forgot. I
You
just don't
you told me
remember.
before that it was 31,000 you're getting a month
Yes,
YouTube views.
that's
Is
the
that the main
average.
traffic source, YouTube?
YouTube, yes, it is the main channel.
Nice. And how's that going growing your YouTube channel? How often are you making videos? let's just start with that, I suppose. How often are you putting out a new video?
Yeah, I try to post a video a week and try to upload 6 videos a month
Mm-hmm.
and trying to produce more, but sometimes I get busy. So try to do 4 at least a month.
Nice. And is it growing, the number of views a month at the moment?
Yes, it's growing. Like last year around this time, I only had like 4,000 or
Oh
5,000,
wow, it's
but
growing quite a
one
lot then.
video, yeah,
Yeah.
one video outperformed, and I just got so many subscribers from just one video, and it went over 10K this year.
Nice. Nice. Okay, great. And what's working for you with that? Like what kind of videos are you making, and which ones are doing the best?
Well, when I wanna make videos specifically, talking about pronunciation and breathing, I really do not get a lot of views,
Okay.
right? And then when I make something more general and I get more views. So that's a struggle right there.
Yeah, and it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because more views isn't the end goal, more customers is the end goal. So if you get less views, but they're on exactly the right kind of topic, then they're more likely to convert. But if you get too few views, then it can't convert. There's not enough people to convert. So he's like, how do you choose between those two? I see that a lot with course creators trying to decide how broad to go, how many videos to make that are for the existing subscribers versus bringing new ones in, how much to try and go really general. What's the video that went viral for you? What's the one that did the best?
It was actually about pronunciation,
Oh,
and it
great.
was specifically about the rhythm that Japanese people make that prevents from acquiring English rhythm. So I actually did some research on topics, and that specific topic, uh, like other English pronunciation coaches have made videos on that topic and seemed like they had a lot of views. So I'm like, okay, so I can make my own take
Yeah.
on that topic, and then I did it, and then it got a lot of views.
Have you ever tried making another video on the same topic?
I actually did, and it didn't get a lot of
Didn't
views.
do
That
well.
was
Oh well.
interesting.
I was talking to someone the other day on the podcast, and he teaches local SEO. So how to help local businesses rank highly on Google, just for their local area. Plumbers and electricians and that kind of thing, I think. And he made a video that did really, really well, which was how to rank fast on local SEO, something just like simple like that. And he's trying to make lots of other kinds of videos to be more interesting but he's like, that's the one that keeps doing so he keeps making another version of that same video and it keeps doing well. And some of his subscribers are like, dude, all of your videos are the same. And he's like, I know, but that's the one that gets the most views. So I don't know what to do. There's this YouTube channel I watch, Magnus Mitbo. He's a rock climber, and I go rock climbing, so I watch his videos. But he's started doing like much broader types of videos now. Like he'll do the French Foreign Legion entry test or something like this, or he'll go climb a he'll go on like do some like long difficult race or whatever. So it's like more general kind of fitness stuff. And those ones are getting like, you can see millions and millions of views. But the loyal audience are the climbers, and everyone's like, please make more climbing videos. That's why we're following you. We want to see the climbing videos, So it's like it's always going to be a bit of a maybe I was going to say a battle. That's maybe not quite right. A balance, right, between what kind of videos are the right ones to be making. So what's the next step after that? I think you said already. So you go from the YouTube video through to the free course, and then at the end of that video, you're promoting your paid course. Was that correct? I remember that right?
Yes.
Great. Then after that 12 days, when you've had that finish, then what happens? Do you promote that same course again? Have you got other courses that you promote? How does it work?
That is something I'm still like trying to figure out. I don't have anything as of now. I have more online courses, but I don't mention those anywhere yet. I'm not
Why
selling
not?
those. I know. So it's like, okay, so I need to build some like upsell or follow up, something like that. So I guess that's my next goal,
Mm.
especially for 2026. Yeah.
How many other courses have you got?
I have three courses,
Okay.
and yeah, I made those, and I know I got some clients for each thing that I made. So I know they sell, but I don't mention them
Mm.
anywhere yet.
So what we find works the best is to do a manual promotion. So rather than building a longer automated sequence, just each month when we're working with clients, we'll go through and we'll run another email promotion to the whole email list all in one go. And that tends to convert better than automated sequences. There's a few reasons we think why. I've never 100% pinned it down. One reason is that you can tie it to that time of year. You know, maybe it's New Year, New You. Maybe it's Black Friday. Those are really, really obvious ones. But maybe it's something to do with the summer. Maybe it's something to do with something that's been happening recently in the news. You know, you connect it to like something that actually is going on. And that seems to make a difference. The second reason is that when you do long automated sequences, sometimes things break and it's quite hard to spot it. And when you do it manually, because you're doing it to your whole email list, you go through and you check every single bit and you make sure that nothing's breaking. So that seems to work better. The third reason is every time that you do a live promotion, because you've got everyone going through it in one go, you've got quite a lot of data that tells you how well did it work. And so if you know how to analyze your data, then you can look at it and you can say, right, what was my open rate on each of these emails? What was my click-through rate? How many people got to the sales page? And from then, how many got to the checkout page? And from them, how many bought? And how many bought the order bump? How many bought the upsell? So you've got quite a lot of data and you can look at it and go, aha, the emails are working great, but the sales page isn't converting great. Or maybe the sales page is converting to get to the checkout page, but then the checkout page doesn't convert well. So then you know what to improve, and then your next campaign does better. So those are a few reasons why we've kind of found that that works really well. If you've got 3 different courses that you could promote to your list, that's great, right? Every month you can run a different promotion, and then at the end of it, you can promote your main course again, and then you can go back to the start and promote those 4 courses again the next 4 months, you know. So is there anything that's like stopping you at the moment from running those promotions? Is it just because you haven't had time to do it so far, or is there like anything like mentally blocking you with it?
Man, I think it's the mental block,
Okay.
right? Like self-worth, self-image. It's like I made those. I put a lot of information and I put a lot of effort, very like specific knowledge from my linguistics study and all that. But I guess yeah, it's the mental block, I think.
Okay. Okay. What's the issue then? So you said self-worth. So are you worried that people won't like the courses, or what's the issue?
Right. What is the issue? Um, maybe like judgment that like, oh, she's trying to sell something, you know?
Right. You're
Yeah.
supposed to be trying to sell something.
Yeah, but the information I know is information I put in the course is really valuable, and then,
Mhm.
it can help people. But then I guess I am stopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is normal, first of all. So if you think you're alone on this one, this is exactly the same thing that nearly all course creators go through. Lots of people listening to this podcast will be thinking the same thing. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, I can relate to you on that one, Aiko." So it's not your problem; it's the problem. So first of all, I think that is kind of sometimes quite nice to feel like you're not alone. The second thing with it, and something I found can really help people with this problem, is if you can if you can write email promotions that also help people. So the when you're promoting your course, you're not just promoting it to make money, but you're trying to help people to actually solve the problem if you reframe it in that way. So what's one of your courses that you haven't promoted to your list?
Well, I have a course that is designed for English pronunciation coaches to learn more about phonetics, like linguistics.
Okay. So what you could do, the format that we use is we do a week's emails that are warm-up emails that aren't talking about the course at all. They're just talking about the problem and helping people solve the problem a bit. And then you transition from there into actually selling the course the next week. So what you could do is a series of 3 warm-up emails that are specifically aimed at coaches, helping them with phonetics and talking to them about what we do is we do 3 emails: problem, agitation, solution. So the problem one could be talking about why is it that people have problem with this? Where is it that people are getting stuck with phonetics when they're teaching English? Then the agitation one, you could talk about how that is leading to an impact on those people in ways that maybe they don't even see, because you've talked to a lot of coaches, so maybe you're seeing the bigger picture that they're not seeing, and bring that to life and show why this is really important to solve it. And then the solution email, what you can do is actually give them a small tip to help to solve that problem. And so at no point in here do you mention the course at all. All you're trying to do is get people in your audience thinking about that problem, and that they, you know what, I should solve this problem. You're right, Aiko. This is an issue. It is affecting my life. That's a great tip. Thank you very much. And then the next week, basically you finish that 3rd email by saying, if you found this useful, then next week I'm going to have a course. I'm going to have I'm going to tell you about my course, which is a full solution to this problem. It's going to allow you to solve this completely. If you don't want to hear about it, click this link and you'll be tagged. You won't receive those emails. You won't hear about it. But if you want to hear about it, then just don't do anything. And next week I'll give you more details about the course. And then you transition into telling them all about the course and why it's great and how it's going to help them and how it's going to improve their life, and have a discount for the week and so on. I'll point you to a couple of episodes that I've done that are specifically about how to solve that. And actually, I might connect you with Josip as well, because Josip's like our head of funnel strategy. He's done a lot of episodes with me on the podcast, and he could kind of help you plan that out a little bit so you kind of know what to do. But if you do that, I find it helps in a few ways. One, it means that you feel more comfortable sending the emails because you're helping people. You're focusing on helping people. Like, there are people in your audience who have this problem. You're trying to help them solve the problem rather than focusing on yourself and wanting to make money. And then secondly, you're actually helping people by sending out those few initial emails that are really bringing the problem to life and giving them a solution. And you're making it really easy for people, if they don't want to hear about the course and the promotion of it, you give them an easy way to opt out. So then you don't have to feel uncomfortable your audience is receiving lots of emails about something they don't want to hear about. And if you combine all of those together, and the last thing is, it actually leads to more people buying because you're doing it in the right way. You're being helpful to your audience. You're serving them, and that comes across to people. And if you do all of that, then every month you can run a promotion for a course. That's what we found as the sweet spot. We've tried every 2 weeks. We've tried every 6 weeks. We've tried once every 2 months. And we found that once a month is a really good sweet spot. The audience won't be upset, and you make a bunch more sales, and it's a really good kind of balance with it. So I'll send you some more details about it afterwards. But first of all, that works. And secondly, if you're uncomfortable with it, it's okay. Because everybody's uncomfortable with it, and it's all right. We do this with a lot of people, and it always works. How do you feel about that?
No, it sounds great. Yeah, like I, the reason why I started my YouTube channel was to share my lessons and struggles and challenges in the past, and it's like I'm helping. I feel like I'm helping my past me to overcome the challenges, and I just need to go back to the thinking, like go back to the basics and trying to be helpful. And your tips are like amazing. Yeah, that definitely I needed that. So thank you.
You're very welcome. I think a lot of people listening will be on the same path with you as well. This is a normal thing. One thing I want to ask you about is you've given a TEDx talk. How did that come about?
Yeah, so I gave a TEDx talk in 2023, but then like around 2020 or 2021, I started seeing myself giving a TEDx talk in my imagination, and then I kept writing it in my journal. I call it future journal, like something is happening in the future, and I kept writing it like, hey, I'm giving a TEDx talk, and it was like 2021, and then but then at that time I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready, or who am I to give a talk like that, right? So, but I keep seeing that myself doing it, right? So I
Hmm.
kept writing it, and then I'm in Toastmasters, so I kept practicing speeches in front of people. And one day, it was early 2023, I saw a post on Facebook saying, we're looking for speakers for TEDx Huntington Beach. Apply, right? But then I kept ignoring it. It's not me. It's not for me, right? And then I saw the post saying, today is the last day to apply for TEDx Huntington Beach. Apply, right? So then I'm like, okay, I gotta apply. So I applied right away and made the deadline. And I had everything at that time, the professional profile picture, and I was able to create a 1 minute like a speech because I practiced it so much in the past, and I had everything laid out. This is my idea. Everything was ready. So I made the deadline, and then I received an email a few days later. You passed the initial audition. And I
Hmm.
didn't know there were multiple interviews, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then to apply for the second audition, you gotta do this and that. So I followed the instruction and made it to the final. Like it was the interview, and I made it, uh, and then I made it to um the end, and then I received an email, and then I was like, that email subject line didn't tell you like if you got the spot or not, right? So I
Right.
clicked it, and I said, congratulations, and I'm like, oh, I couldn't like stand, like physically my back was like collapsing, and so I fell into the floor. Like,
Wow.
that was a quite journey. It was
That's
fun.
great.
Yeah.
Does it drive traffic? Is it driving relevant traffic for your business, or is it just like a cool thing that you've done?
Well, it doesn't really drive more traffic
No.
to
Okay.
my business, but because of the experience, I felt a lot of pressure uh, during the 6 months of training. And I practiced one speech for 6 months, and I know how that is now. And because of the experience, I can help more people more powerfully because I experienced all that.
That's
So,
great. What's in your future journal now? What else are you going to be doing in the future?
well,
Are you
like I
allowed to tell
mentioned,
me, or does that jinx it? I don't know.
like I mentioned earlier, I wanna start a podcast show
Hmm.
where I interview entrepreneurs around the world and learn from them because I'm really passionate about business, and I wanna build more in my business and help more people through business, like a business coaching and stuff like that. That is my passion. But then another one is to learn more about like sound production. So right now I'm learning um, bird language that's in Turkey. In a village, they used to, or they use whistle to communicate with people,
Right.
and I'm practicing it. So my one dream that I have is to go to the Turkish village and learn the bird language. But in order to do that, I need to be good at it. So I'm practicing it now every day.
Wow, that's fascinating. How did you decide on that?
I don't know. I just learned like different sounds, like throat throat singing.
Uh-huh.
in Mongolia and Tuva, I became really interested in those. So I started taking lessons from a Tuvan throat singing teacher who lives in Mongolia. I took his lessons on Zoom and then, trying to learn the sound production. And like, I want to visit Mongolia for that, just to see him and, learn from him in person. That like every day I discover something new, like sound production wise, and that keeps me busy every day trying to create different sounds using me as a music instrument.
Wow.
And yeah, that's something I'm really passionate about and something that I want to learn more.
Nice. That's amazing. That's so cool. Can you give us a little rendition? Am I putting you on the spot too much? I don't want to make you uncomfortable if that's weird, but I'm like, I've never heard Mongolian throat singing. I don't know what it is.
Mongolian throat singing, like you can make two notes at the same time.
Yeah.
And then using the voice like all like really low voice.
Yeah.
And then they call it the other voice because you don't really use it when you're speaking, but English sounds have those kind of. So like you have V sound and TH sound that you're using in the other voice to create more vibrations,
Okay.
which Japanese people don't really use that sound. So that's why Japanese people have a hard time creating English sounds. But once they get the other sound, the other voice, they're able to make that sound. It's like like low voice.
Wow. I'm gonna go look up on YouTube after this Mongolian throat singing and see what it's like. This sounds fascinating. What's the goal for you for the business? Do you have like a specific a scale that you're trying to get it to? You trying to grow the YouTube audience to a certain size? Are you just kind of seeing how it goes? Like what's your vision for that?
For my business goal, it'll be nice to get to 100K on my YouTube
Mm-hmm.
and serve more people. And I want to publish a book about pronunciation, sound production, and all that. That would be my another project. And also like I want to be able to talk to a lot of entrepreneurs around the world. But in order to do that, like I need to be, I want to be more successful
Mm-hmm.
so that I will be able to meet more people. Like I want to be one of them, and I want to connect with them.
Nice. That's great. Yeah, that was one of the things for me, I think, as I grew the business, I got to spend more time with more successful business people who have then figured out more things. And it's like, so you can be one of the things is it's quite good to be maybe not the dumbest person in the room or the least successful, but towards the bottom. So like generally you kind of are learning more from most people there. But there's certain rooms you just can't get into until you've got a certain level of success, right? So it's like, okay, let me keep figuring out how do I grow the business? How do I make it work better so that then I can get into the room and then I can go talk to more people who are doing even better. That's awesome. Okay, this has been amazing. I love what you're doing with the business. I think this is absolutely fantastic. If people want to go check you out, where should they go? There's aikohemingway.com. Is that the best place for people to go to? I'm not sure even how to say the other link that you've given me.
Yes, aikohemingway.com. I'm trying to make it like if you go to aikohemingway.com, I think the front page is in Japanese right now. So I want to
Okay.
change everything into English because I want to interview entrepreneurs later in English. But the other one is hatsonkyosei.com. It's HATSUONKYOSEI.com. Hatson Kyosei means accent reduction in Japanese. So this
Ah,
is for Japanese people to learn more about English pronunciation.
got it. Okay. So if you don't know Japanese, don't know how to read Japanese, then that's not the page to go to. So probably Aiko Hemingway. So that's AIKO Hemingway, HEMINGWAY. ingway.com. Aiko, thanks so much for coming on and sharing your journey. This has been fantastic. And best of luck with growing the business. I'm really excited to kind of hear how it goes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for letting me share my journey. It was really fun to talk with you.
If
Thank you.
if you've been listening and you're thinking, I want to know more about this, how to write these email promotions. I know I talk about those quite regularly. You can go check those out. datadrivenmarketing.co/resources. And there's a download called 2 Secret High Performing Email Templates that's going to help with that. And then if you search through the podcast for email promotions, there's a whole bunch of episodes that I've done with people there as well about how to run these. So hopefully, dear listener, that's useful. And we'll see you next time.